Chris Minns, New South Wales Premier. Thanks for your time this morning. I just wanted to start with this promise you made on this program a while back that there would be no increases in taxes in the budget that you delivered, your government delivered last week. Have a listen to this. Will you rule out tax increases? Is a club's tax increase, for example, a possibility?
Yeah, we went to the election with no tax increases as a pledge, and I'm aware, Andrew, that particularly with inflation running at 6% and people doing it really tough in the community, we don't want to add to their burden right now.
OK, Mr Minns, you've raised coal royalties. There are reports you're increasing the toll on that. Well, you've confirmed you're increasing the toll on the Harbour Bridge. You're charging more in terms of some property tax. Was that accurate, strictly speaking, when you said there'd be no increase in taxes?
Yes, it was, Andrew. If you break down those individual items, if you look at coal royalties in particular, in New South Wales 2 years ago, the state sold about $14 or $15 billion worth of coal to foreign trading partners. Last year we sold $55 billion worth of coal just in New South Wales. As a result of that, we went to the industry to talk about getting those royalties up, not to the level of some other states, but a small amount in context to pay for essential services in New South Wales. I think that was the right decision to make. In relation to tolls on the Harbour Bridge, they hadn't been moved since 2009. At the same time, so put that in perspective, toll southbound, on the Harbour Bridge would cost you $4 in 2009. As of yesterday, it would cost you $4. To put that in context, someone coming from Campbelltown in 2009 paid $12 for a return trip. Yesterday, they paid over $30. So there's been no fairness when it comes to tolls across the Sydney Metropolitan area. And I think that that's consistent with what we went to the election with.
So a toll hike's not a tax hike?
No.
OK, there's no money allocated in the budget for the cost of keeping the Eraring power station open, something your government says it's in negotiations with Origin Energy about. Are you fair dinkum about keeping it going, and can you give us a rough estimate of what that might cost?
Look, I can't, and I'm not trying to be coy about it. The reason for that is because it was privatised a few years ago by the previous government for $50 million. We're now in a situation where it's owned by a private company. Now, that company's in the middle of someone else is coming in to buy it off them for a trade in the marketplace, and as a result of that, we're in obviously a complicated commercial arrangement. Now, if we put that figure in the budget, we would be telegraphing to that company how much we would be prepared to pay. We said we're open to it. We realise that withdrawing over 20% of the East Coast power supply in one hit would be very difficult to sustain as we progress the renewable energy revolution in New South Wales. But I'm not going to telegraph commercial negotiations in the New South Wales budget before they've even begun.
Is it hundreds of millions potentially, or could it be over $1 billion?
Well, I'm not going to telegraph it right now. I mean, a couple of things I would say, however. The previous energy minister put a ridiculously high figure on it. That figure was based on us purchasing the facility back from the private owners. Now, we're not going to do that, and I think it's important to note that the potential new owners of the Eraring power station have already said that in addition to their generation portfolio, they've also got 4.5 million retail customers. They've got to supply reliable energy to them. So everybody's got a stake in ensuring that we've got reliable, as cheap as possible energy provided to New South Wales consumers at the same time as we pursue 33 terawatts of renewable energy every year by 2030.
Will you proceed with the Western Metro project?
Well, you know, you've asked me this a few times. We're in the middle of a review in relation to that, and there's good reasons for it. Metro projects in New South Wales have blown out by over $20 billion. So that's not the cost of the projects, that's literally the overrun, $20 billion, a massive amount of money. I've made a decision that we need to look at what the outgoings in relation to those projects and ensure that every dollar that's being spent, New South Wales taxpayer money, is being allocated fairly. But what I will say about Metro West is while that review has taken place, we've kept the money for that project in the New South Wales budget so that we've got the full options when that review comes back and the government makes a decision.